Hello YouTube, Blade here, and this is Game Dev Tycoon, a indie game that has, well, it's been released in a way. It's waiting to be greenlit on Steam. So let's just play the game, shall we? I'm just gonna change the settings, so volume, lower that a little bit. There we go. And this game is about developing new games. You start early on in the 80s, and it's a place for 30 years. So let's call this Oberon's software. Okay. Or Blade software, maybe. Blade software. We are Oberon Blade. The funny story about the people developing this game is that they released a cracked version on torrent sites, and just to see what happens, and the code in the cracked version is slightly different, and after a while people in the game stopped buying the game, and they started to pirate the game instead, which meant that the cash flow dwindled and soon went to negative, and people were commenting on it and asking if anybody knew how to avoid that from happening in various torrent forums and all that. And it's like, you know, I cannot play the game, I will run out of money too fast because everybody's pirating my game, nobody's buying it and all that. So it's like ironic, they pirate the game and then they complain that they don't make any money in the game they pirated because people in the game are pirating their games. Anyway, I've been playing this a few times and it's a very fun game, but it's get kind of difficult after around year 5, years 8 or something like that for me. I think I have the winning concept at hand, but the market is a fickle something. So anyway, you have to decide. Let's just read a tutorial and go through the game, shall we? Before development can begin, you have to decide what kind of game you want to create and give your game a name. You can also select which graphic technology your game should use. I'm gonna play this with a tutorial because it helps you, the viewers, understand the game also. And I know what to do. It's just this one is helpful anyway. Your options are initially limited, but once you have a bit of experience, you'll be able to unlock new options. So my first game is I can pick a topic. I only have these 4 to start with, and they are random. These are sort of always here, but the ones you unlock on the way are random. They're not always in the same order. So what game should we release? Well, let's release a sports game, shall we? Or sorry, a space game. And then we have these action adventure RPG simulation of strategy. So let's go for an action game. And as you can see, they are mock-up of, well, PC is still standard because there is no real standard when it comes to PC. But this platform here is a mock-up of probably the C64. It looks very much like a C64 actually. So more platforms will be released throughout the years, and market share 56% is good. The expense here, 20,000 to develop a game for this console, is kind of high, but hopefully since there is 56% market share, the game will make more money. And now we're going to change the name of the game. The name of the game is really not important, it's just, you know, something that you pick up. So we have a space action game. I can think of Saxon maybe, but let's do Saxon just for fun. And here we pick the feature, text-based, cost 5,000, or 2D graphics version 1, 10,000, and then we start the development. And there's bubbles flowing up here, bugs, design, technology, and research. And a trick is, game development runs through 3 stages. At the beginning of each stage, you can decide what areas of the game you want to focus on. Picking the right focus for your game greatly increases the points you generate. Think about what areas are important for your game and decide the focus of areas you think are less important. If you want to read a brief description of different areas, please refer to the help menu. So, okay, the engine is how well the game performs on the engine. It's an action game, so we don't really need much of a story or quests. I want the gameplay to be high because I really want the people that buys the game and plays it enjoys it. The engine do play a part, but maybe not as much as the gameplay. So now the game development has started and I get points in these 4 fields up here. This one is, you don't want as low point as possible here, but the other ones you want as high as possible. While developing your game, you will generate game points, which you can see bubbling up. Game points are divided into design points and technology points. Those two. The more points you generate, the better the game will be. From time to time there will also be bug points generated over here. These points become less likely once you gain experience. Bug needs to be fixed before the game can be released and increase development time and cost. As you see over here, the time is ticking on. We haven't released the game yet and we're already at week 4. Okay, now we're at development stage 2, and now an action game doesn't really need much dialogues. Oh, music stopped. Great. Level design, again, I want it to be interesting for the players, so I want a good level design. And the AI of the game, it should not be mindless targets or something like that. You don't really this is basically what you see. I start off in a garage, of course. I need to make a lot more money to be able to get all the way up to get out of the garage. During development, you can also select additional features for your game. Right now you can only pick basic sounds, but your option will increase quickly. Selecting additional features make the game generally better, but also increase its cost. You will also see the graphic type you selected when you define the game. This is just to remind you of your choice. You cannot change the type of graphics mid-game. Make sense? World design. This we want good graphics. Sound, no, not really that important. It's like blip blop blip blop, pew pew pew, sort of. So yeah, let's go for that. And the higher I leave this, I will show you later on. Once this one is done, I'm getting research points. That's good, but I'm running low on cash, and it cost me 8,000 on a monthly basis. So week 4, 8,000. Development of your first game is now complete. You can press the finish button to publish your game, but you should only do that once you fix the majority of bugs. And see, I have 5 bugs to fix. Releasing a game without fixing bugs can severely affect your ratings, so you should only ever consider that if you need the cash and you can't afford to wait. I can't afford to wait. Once this one reaches 0, I can just release the game. Development of your game is now finished. While developing games, you gain experience and improve your skills. When development is completed, you will be presented with a summary of the experience gained. This is what you see here. So I spent a lot of design of technology, and this is the combination. New topic times 1.2, new combo times 1.6, great combo times 1.6. So the more I spend, the sliders I did before the 3 stages, they gain experience here and eventually will level up. So I will release the game, and we will see the reviews of the game. While you develop your game, you also gain research points. These are over here. You can use these points to unlock new options for future games. So bring up the research menu, close this menu, and click anywhere on the screen to bring up the action menu. So now we have developed new game, research, and game history. So let's do some research. Research is important to unlock new options and make better games. You should try to save enough research points to be able to create your own game engine. This will greatly improve your games. Try to develop games with different topics in genre combination for a slight research boost. So I have 22. Custom game engine costs 50, but this is a one-time cost. Creating a game engine is something you do later on as you research better stuff, more stuff like new graphics, sounds, AI, whatever. So let's see, topics. Racing games, maybe? It costs 10 research points, but let's do it. And here we go in with the reviews of our first game. Let's hope they are favorable. Whoa. Not too favorable. Yeah, definitely could have been better than that. Not the best starting, but I guess for first game it's okay. So, Blade Software, a newcomer in the game industry, had just released their first game, Saxon. The game received favorable reviews, which such a good start. Blade Software is sure to gain fans quickly. I've done better. So here we see the units being sold. 30,500 the first week I made in cash, and I sold 4.4 thousand units, ranked 33. Not the best. I've actually managed to get a top spot in one of my games, but not this early on. Now that your game is on sale, we receive the income from the game every week. You can see how well the game is doing by looking at the sales graph in the top right screen. We have 34 fans. That's awesome. And there we go. Now we have a racing. So time to develop a new game. So we pick a racing game, and it's going to be a simulation, I think. And let's go for the same platform again, even though it is costly. And we're going to call this well, what can we call this game? It's a racing game, so we should call it Corner Rings. Let's just go for that. And it's going to be a 2D graphic game again as well. Development cost 30,000 so far, but we're making back money. Again, we don't need story or quest. Gameplay I want it to be high, but also maybe engine, working on that for a bit. 10,000 units sold. That's good for the first game. Let's see. Let me go here again to really lower this volume. Maybe I turn it off. That's better. Then I don't have to keep shouting or speaking over the sound of the game. AI. Well, we want good AIs, right? I mean, we want the other cars to actually give a challenge to the players. So let's hope that is a good setup. And the sales of Saxon is dwindling, and I think that's the last week we're gonna make any sales on that. Oh, maybe not. And here we go. Still no changes here. Sound, engine sounds like me. We go for that. World design. I guess this would be the tracks. Yeah, let's go for that. And things become expensive quite fast, actually. Oh, we managed to make $131,000 in sales, or 131,000 credits. It's not bad for a first game. So, but we can hopefully do better. Squash all those bugs. Thank you. Let's see what happens. New records. The higher we get here, as they said in the tutorial, is the better the game will be. And we are really focusing a lot on gameplay and the engine, and yeah, I'm getting some skills as well. So let's see, what is the research? Game engine 50. Let's see how they enjoyed our racing game. 7. 7. 5, yes. Nice experience. Well, it wasn't too bad, but it definitely has room for improvements. So let's keep going, shall we? Let's do a medieval RPG G64, and we're going to call this one sword slasher. If only we could spell swords and daggers. There we go. And we're gonna make it a text-based game. I have never done a text-based game before, but let's think of MUD and all that. Game stores started out in the early 80s, maybe even sooner, of course. So let's see how it goes. Since it's a text-based game, we need a lot of story, of course. The gameplay needs to be high, engine maybe not need to be that high. And okay, recent market studies suggest that the go-adored G64 is steadily outselling competitors in the PC sector. Consumers prefer the lower price, greater availability, and a flexible hardware configuration over other home computers. Experts says that this might spell the end of competing hardware manufacturers. Those pop-ups you saw here, those are somewhat clear and real on what actually happened throughout the 80s and all that. And people that grew up, are around my age and grew up with a C64, sorry, know that what it eventually happens. So this is something we knew unlocked now. We are able to take contracts. Contracts have been unlocked. To see available contracts, close this message and then click anywhere on the screen to bring up the action menu. Well, we're busy constructing a game. Dialogues should be artificial intelligence, may not be too and also I don't know if we need much of level design. Well, this is basically focus. How much time will I spend on this? Since it's going to be text based, yeah, let's go for that. Might not be the best setup, but maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And then if things work out well, I can maybe release this again with graphics, right? So graphic text based, yes. Don't have to focus much on that part. Maybe work a little bit more on the world design and sounds. And yay, we unlocked, so we can do research our own game engine. That's good work. Cornerings, and there we go. Excellent work. New record here on technology. We level up. Nice work. This means that we are slightly better in making these items here. In engine gameplay, level design, artificial intelligence. I think that means we're faster when it comes to those items, and it doesn't cost us as much stamina, I guess you could say. Anyway, let's check the contracts. Contracts are a useful tool to learn extra cash when your balance is low, and can also be useful to generate a small number of research points. Contracts require you to generate a certain amount of design and technology points before the times run out. Decide carefully what contract you accept. If you miss the deadline for a contract, you have to pay penalties, so it's better to start out with smaller contracts and see how much you can handle. So in 3 weeks, you remember the weeks is this one, it ticks on quite rapidly. I have to create 18 bubbles. Here it's only 16 bubbles, but still it can be tricky because sometimes the designer stops and scratches his head. This one again, it's 16, but we do have 1 week extra, and so let's just give it a try, shall we? Keep going. Okay, swords and daggers, let's see what they think. Enjoyable, I can go with that. I want high scores. 8, yay, played it for days, sweet. And medieval and RPG is a great combination, that is true. Have seen better. Well, it's text based, so I don't blame you on that. Come on, 9, 8, 7. We sold 18,703 units, 130, almost 131k. That's good. Japanese company Ninvento is planning to launch its very own home gaming console. Ninvento is known for the widely successful arcade game Dinky King. Well, that's nice. Again, this is, spoof of real news and spoof of real gaming consoles and everything like that. It seems like I will manage to get this done in time. Yay, a little bit extra cash. Thank you. And yay, excellent work every 6 months. Now we're gonna do a custom game engine that will help to create a better gaming experience for our potential customers, and our fan base is going up. We're selling some of this, and while we're here we can check out the game history. And if you go back to the first game, which is the Saxon, we get an average review score of 6. The cost was 46,000 to make, and we made 85.4 in income, and we reached 33 as our top rank. This one made slightly less. The price to make that game was the same, so in this Saxon was actually better than Cornerings. And how about Swords and Daggers? Well, it's still being sold, so we don't know. However, we are already making 43.5 in profit. Well, not big enough. Okay, never mind. And custom game engine. Now you can create your own game engine. Close this message and click anywhere. Steering wheel. Now, if I were to create a custom engine, this is the options I have available. I can add save game, linear story, mono sound, and 2D graphics version 2. However, if I want to have the steering wheel included in this engine so I can make racing games with, that support a steering wheel, I need to create a new engine. I cannot just hook it up onto the current engine. So I will actually wait with creating the new engine until I get 10 research points, which is just 3 more than I have now. So I will make a new game, because game is what makes us money. And we will do a military strategy game for the G64, and we're gonna call it Commander Tosh, just for fun. And it's gonna be 2D graphics, of course. And here we go. We're making money. Now the game engine, I want it. I don't know if story and quest has to be that important. I do like a lot of gameplay, of course. However, eventually I do want to do RPGs where story is important. Okay. There is nothing wrong keeping them all maxed out. Well, I guess there is something wrong keeping it all maxed out, because the time you spent on the specifics are much better than in generic. You can't cater to everything when it comes to creating a game. Swords and Daggers off market, 13,000, almost 14,000 units. We've made almost 100k. And here's the Ninvento. It's called Tess. And yeah, this is the one we have to design games for in the future. To make the big bucks, we actually have to go for where not really much on dialogues in this game. We have to go for where the big market is. And this game has really helped me understand gaming companies out there. Sound, nah, not so important. We want graphics because it's a graphic game. World design, yeah, we can leave it or take it like that. Again, graphics is not important, but it's nice to know that you can see what stuff is used for, or what stuff is when you see it on the screen, especially in the early 80s when everything was very crudely drawn. So we're done. The bugs are squashed, and here we go. New record on both, very good. New combo and great combo. Anyways, as I was saying, this has made me understand gaming companies more on why they release games on consoles and all that. Personally, I hardly ever play any game on my console. I just play on my PC because I love the freedom I have using keyboard or mouse, and the mods and the add-ons and things like that. It's so much easier to get to your PC than it is to my consoles, or any consoles for that matter. But I understand why people gaming companies is doing that. So now when we have extra research points, we're gonna research the steering wheel, and let's see how our Commander Tosh game is doing. Is it loved or hated by the audience? Well, could have been more. It shows potential. Yeah, that's what we want to hear. 8. Yes, it's a good score. There we go. And we do that. See how many we make here. We haven't broken into 1,000 fans yet. And the steering wheel is research. You need to create a new engine. Yes, of course. But we will actually... movies. We have the steering wheel, so I guess we can actually create the new engine now. So we pick 2D graphics version 2, mono sound, linear story, save games, and the steering wheel. And we're gonna call it Dagger 1.0. Okay. And yes, once the engine is finished, you'll be able to use it when creating new games. So I just need to fill up this here, and in the meantime I do make some research points. And it's costing us a bunch of money because, well, we do make a little bit of profit every week. Test by Ninvento has been released, which is very good news because this is very bad news. I was supposed to wait for that one to be released before I created this. Well, not much to do about it, I guess. And Dagger 1.0 is now complete. Yes, so let's create a new game so we can make some money. Pick topic. Let's go for sports, shall we? And it's gonna be a action game. Sports action. Will that work? Wait. Military action. I'm thinking... See, okay, here, this one just stole market shares like there was no tomorrow. So this is where the big money is at this time. However, you have to pay the license fee of 80,000 just to be able to be allowed to develop games to this one. This one is an off course cost. Sorry. And once you pay this one time, you can develop games for all you're worth for this platform without worry. So let's pay for that one. And we're gonna pick the Dagger 1.0. And I'm thinking games like Duke Nukem maybe. So we're gonna call this one Duke Mayhem. Yeah. Maybe not. Yeah, let's go for it. And we're gonna use the better graphics version that we have in our engine. Okay, sure. Let's do a interview. And that was that. Blade Software, a local startup, is trying to make it big in the gaming industry. The company has already published 4 games and is working hard on their next. In the interview, founder Oberon Blade said that next game is going to be a military action game, something the company has not done before. It's great to see small local companies entering exciting new industries. All the best of luck to Blade Software. Yes. Okay, here we go. This is where we cast... Well, we don't need a steering wheel in this one. And you know, this is something you can change on the fly as you develop your game. You can, you know, I want to have a linear story. So this is going to be a tunnel shooter. So don't really need to spend much time in this story quest. Save games, so people don't have to start over from the beginning all the time. We're going to focus a lot on the engine though, to make sure that works. Developing a great game is not the only recipe for success. It is essential to build hype to ensure that players are excited about your game. In the beginning of your career, hype is mostly generated through random events, but once you gain more experience, you can use marketing and other strategies to generate hype. I have a hype 1 now. This is based on the fact that I did an interview. So they wrote about this Duke Mayhem game that I'm developing, and that created some buzz about the game. The higher the hype, you know, you can overhype a game, of course, but the hype has to match the game and what you're offering as well. And you know, you have marketing. We will probably maybe get to that later on if I manage to develop and research marketing. It cost 40 points. So now military action, we need the AI to, you know, create some sort of a challenge for our player, but we also want the game to be fun, the levels design with not much dialogue needed. It's like, you know, the chewing gum and the boot kicking stuff. Go for that. We're down very low in cash though, and we're gonna increase and spend more money by going for mono sound, so we can beef up the sound a little bit, and we don't have to have full power on the graphics. The world design, yeah, let's allocate more time for that. We're almost done. The hype is going up. People are talking about the game. Not the best of hype, but to start off, that's a very good starting point. I once managed to get a hype up to, I think, 16 or 20 or something like that. And the bugs are squashed, so we released the game because we need money. New records as well. We used our own engine, which helped to bring those two up a bit. And it's not a new combo or a perfect match or great match thing, just a new combo and a great combo. So we got experience in all of these fields here, which is nice. And the joystick. Now we're going to do some research. We're going to research the gamepad. And we're low on cash. Okay, let's see. I want it to be big numbers. 7, I want it to be bigger than that, but I'll take 7. 9, yes, perfect. Good, good, come on, come on. 8, come on, give me another 9, please. 8. Well, they are good reviews. They will help sales very much. Let's see, Duke Mayhem. Well, probably won't help that. Gamepad, and then we go research joystick. However, I don't think I can afford to develop a new engine at this point. For some reason this isn't going too well. As I said, let's go for another research here. New topic. Let's go with sci-fi and see what happens. As you see, the other ones are blocked out. Still question marks. As you unlock more, they will light up, so you can pick more options to choose from. But that is not the only way to unlock a topic. Okay, develop new game. So pick topic. We're going to go with sci-fi, and it's going to be a sci-fi simulation. We're going to go with the test. Dago 1.0. And this is going to be Star Comet. And yeah, we're going to go with that. We're going to be spending a lot of money developing this game. No, don't need a steering wheel again. Gameplay. Yeah, let's focus on the gameplay. It's simulator, so don't really need much story quest, I think. Sales number have exceeded expectations by far. At one customer said, I love the games to come out to the test, and playing with a controller is so much more fun than a keyboard. Yes, however, we don't have an engine with the controller, but hopefully that is okay. Sold 24,000 units, that's not a lot. And we are running low on cash. Dialogues, yeah, we leave it like that. Let's focus on the level design. Ooh. Let's see, 10,000 for this setup. Yeah, we can lower the sounds a bit. Which one should we focus on? World design, graphics, world design. Let's go for that. Hopefully we're doing the right sliding options here. Not too many bugs, which is good. And there we go. Good, 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 good. New combo and ding, great combo. Yay, level 2. Let's see. I need the games to be released. Let's say start comment. Good reviews, please. That was not a good review. Beautiful. I knew working graphics would be useful, even though I didn't. Good game, yay, the engine, stem, whatever. Okay, now I will do fantasy, fantasy RPG. And when this is done, I will I will probably invest in a new engine, as this one sells. Create custom engine, and we just add to it. So we have a joystick and a gamepad. Gonna cost me 150,000, which we don't have, so we have to wait for a bit. I know, let's release another game. Pick topic. It's gonna be fantasy adventure on the Tess dagger, and this is Gauntlets of Stone, just for fun. Yay. Let's develop the game. I think we're gonna wrap up this soon. No, we don't need a steering wheel. Story quest, very important in fantasy adventure games, I think. Engine as well. Gameplay, we can take a backseat on that. Let's focus on the story quests. Price hit with players. Yay, a slight bump in sales there. Awesome. Recent studies suggest that increasing variety of gaming devices also create a market for more specialized games. Some platforms become more popular with younger gamers, while other caters to the more mature age group. As more and more developers enter the market, we expect developers to focus their games on specific age groups to really make an impact. So now we can research target audience. Now this is where stuff gets tricky. Now, it's a fantasy adventure game, so artificial intelligence I don't think is that important. Dialogues is, however, important. We don't maybe need to focus as much on level design. It has to be an engrossing experience for the player, basically. And world design, yes. Graphics, sounds, again, graphics and sounds may not be, but world design, I want it to be an interesting place for the players that they can, immerse themselves into. And there we go, almost done. A slight increase over here, perfect. Vena, another Japanese company, is planning to release a home gaming console of their own. And the bugs have been squashed. And there we go. We made nice numbers. Let's check out 110k in profit, 82k. I think this is our best selling game so far. The start comment. Okay. And this one, new records. Okay. How about the great combo? Thank you. We increased in gameplay, level design, and world design. Yay. And I'm almost level 3 myself. Level editor, open world. So let's do that. This will allow players to create their own levels in games, which is something that I enjoy myself. Gauntlet of Stone, please be good reviews. I need the money. 7. Please be great reviews then. Yeah, that's slightly better. It's a fun game, but it's very tricky. You think you know the concept, you think you know what it is that makes a game a great game, and you don't. I mean, as I said before, I was doing very well, but right now I've been playing for 3 years, 3 months and 4 weeks. The sales are good, but I definitely need more money. And open world, yeah, we can afford all of this actually. And if we do this, then we create another game. All games gave it a 9, saying outstanding game. And now Vena is now talking about releasing this one. I am not a console gamer myself, so I don't know which game this is a spoof of, or this console is a spoof of. Sorry. And there we go. Research done. Open world. This is for the engine. Now target audience is for... Yay mouse. Target audience is for when I design a game, which is what I will do next. So I can, because the sales are running low here, and even though I have a lot of money, I can afford a new engine. I will not do it right now. I will... You can now specify the main target audience is for your game. Games can be targeted at young people. Okay, so I'm gonna pick young, right? And what game? I will do a racing action game. Pick platform, the test, and game engine, still Dagger 1. Okay, we go back one step here. This was racing action, so more corners. Yes, just silly like that. And here we go. Let's hope this turns out to be well. Well, the steering wheel, it is a racing game, so including that would not be too bad. We don't have to worry about story and quests. Gameplay has to be fun. And nice sales and sale numbers here, I like that. And we broke 1000k fans. I like that as well. Now, artificial intelligence is important. Dialogues, not. Level design can be there. We need it to be a challenging game, but a fun game at the same time. I don't know if you should max out any of them, but you know, doing that will lower the others. Like if I max this one out, it will lower the others, but if I lower the others, it will still max out that. Now, sound, yes. Graphic, sure. World design, that's the tracks. So let's go with, how about we go with sounds? Real engine sounds, right? Or as real as we can get from a mono speaker or a mono sound system. Oh, that was a lot of bugs. That need to be squashed. The new game platform Master V by Vena has been released. Okay. Master 5. Is that a Sega Mega? And the bugs are squashed. 1318. No records. New combo. Some level ups. Nice. And better AI. We are gonna do research on the mouse. I was hoping I would do it slightly better so I could move into another office, but I feel like this video recording is going on too long, so I will actually end it here. I'm getting good reviews. I like it. Pretty much good reviews, yeah. Let's see how much we make in the first week. Master V or Master 5 by Vena has stirred up the market worldwide. Industry expert says that console is not very well marketed in North America, but that it will flourish in other parts of the world. So you cater to, you know, it's very big in Asia. So the games they enjoy in Asia will probably be good to make in this Tycoon game. Better AI as well. We made good sales. We're making good money. But I will have to end right here. I might do a short let's play of this. I'm not doing too well once I move out of my basement. But let's go with pirate there. So as long as I stay here, I'm doing great well, but eventually I need to move out. So anyway, this is just a quick look, even though it's been taking more than a quick moment of my time. So we can include mouse, joystick, gamepad, level editor, better AI, open world. Yeah, we're gonna do everything. It's gonna be Dagger 2.0. There we go. Gonna cost us a lot of points, but we're gonna be using this engine later on. It's kind of tricky. You can't go back, and of course, casual games. That's good. I'll use research for that. You can't go back and see what you incorporated into your different engines. You know, why would you go back to a previous engine, one might ask, unless you customize the engines if you're low on cash, and customize the engines for different types of game types. Like, you know, this Dagger 2.0 could be catered for the PC market, while Dagger 3.0 is definitely just a console market with a gamepad stuff. Anyway, the G64 is about to disappear. Recent market data shows that the Commodore G64 seems to be slowly losing market shares against other PC manufacturers. In an official statement, the G64 employees said that the company has been unsuccessful in introducing higher-priced computers to compete against newer and more advanced PCs. So it will be phased out of the market eventually. So the trick is not to develop games for that console or that platform, because since it's about to be phased out at this time, it wouldn't be a good idea to do that. And we have a little bit of cash. The engine is done. Shall we do let's do research of this, then I definitely have to stop. So this one, an inventor, and I will introduce a portable gaming device called GameLink. The device comes with changeable game cartridges, a monochrome screen on a green background, built-in speakers, and even multiplayer support via connection cable. Compared to PC and other game console, the GameLink is underpowered, but given a lower cost and excellent portability, it might find a huge following. Next month, we need a new project up and running. We can't afford. So, yeah, I will save here and end the game. So if you're interested in this game, I suggest you go here, the Green Heart Games, or you go search for Game Dev Tycoon.